egg.
Good egg, huh?
Yeah,
Good egg.
good egg.
So, thank you very much for electing me. Keep credit where it's due first. Thank you. Anyway, we'll talk about this $3 billion US dollars. It actually happened in 2008. An investor which I would not name because we are still hoping that in the future that they would also come to invest in Penang. I wanted to come in 2008 last year. That was before the crash, before the economic crisis, where they liked Penang, but they worried about getting 1,000. They wanted 1,000 E&E engineers, electrical and electronic engineers. Now I cannot guarantee. Something that I cannot deliver. You know, in Penang, you talk about 100 E&E. Even though it's difficult, but I think that I can find 100 E&E engineers. And for those in the E&E industry, you know that electrical engineering is the toughest discipline. It's the toughest discipline. And there is a shortage, not only I think in Malaysia, but also shortage to varying degrees throughout the world. Of course, the shortage in Penang is probably a little bit more acute because of the high number of E&E companies, MNCs, located in Penang. So when he wanted me to give a guarantee, I refused. I refused because I believe that trust is the most important capital of any government. If we promise something we cannot deliver, then I think it puts at risk our entire credibility and also reputation. And that's not something I'm willing to do. So I refuse to give that guarantee. And unlike other governments, when you give a guarantee to a foreign investor, it is not something to be taken lightly. You know, when you give guarantees, if you don't deliver, then you have to pay compensation. So there are also costs involved. Because investors, foreign investors, they want to put so much money in, they will want a return guarantee. So this is not something that I would be willing to do. And after all, I thought that we should have learned lessons from simply issuing guarantees. If you all remember, the Falkland Free Trade Zone scandal, 12.5 billion was lost because the previous Minister of Transport simply issued guarantees. Not one, not two, not three, but combined up to 5 guarantees were issued. And they were regarded as equivalent to a commitment. Even though they were letter of support, but they were they constituted a guarantee and a commitment by the federal government to ensure that all loans taken would be fully paid by the federal government. And that is why we faced 12.5 billion losses in the Falkland Free Trade Zone scandal. So I'm not going to put Penang at such risk. We are not going to expose our people to such risk by promising something we cannot deliver. That's why we want to work extra hard to increase our talent pool. And if you talk about 1,000 E&E engineers which we did not, which I refused to guarantee, in the end I was given to understand they did not make any investment in any other country, basically because the crisis hit. That's why I refused to name the company, because we are hoping that when things pick up, maybe they can reconsider. But I think it's very important that we don't give guarantees we cannot deliver, and that is also being reminded to us frequently by MIDA. MIDA supports our position, and they say that never guarantee something you cannot deliver. So I hope that this is not Penang rejecting the investment, but because we refuse to guarantee something we cannot deliver, that's why they decided not to invest in Penang. And for those who claim that there is no shortage of E&E engineers, I want to say this: they must be living on a different planet. For those in Penang, you know that E&E engineers are hard to find. And when I talk E&E engineers, please, it's just not from any ordinary university. When the foreign investor comes, they want to employ E&E engineers from established universities, not any universities by the side of the road. Established universities, and expecting to pay not at American pay scales, but at Penang pay rates. So if you want to pay at Penang pay rates, I'm sure you must know it's not easy to find. If you ask them, I can guarantee if you pay at international scale rates, then they will laugh at you and tell you, if that is so, I might as well invest my money at home. because I'm sure if I pay higher than that, I can get these engineers at home. So it's in the light of these factors that I refuse to give this guarantee, and I think that it is something that is the right decision, something I can sleep at night, or else I'll be worrying what sort of commitments and compensation I have to pay to these foreign investors. That's number one. Number two, Chu Peng, and he mentioned about social programs, and then he expressed concerns about funding. I think you are talking about the relationship between the federal and the state government. How when they turn off the tap, that will affect Penang's future development, because everything depends on money, and that's correct. And how would this relationship be affected by the fact that we are from different political parties? We are actually going for each other, and how would that affect Penang's development? Now, I want to say this, that despite our political differences, I think both the federal and state government has come to realize that we must establish some sort of a working relationship. It may not be the most cordial, it may not be the most buddy-buddy and friendly relationship, but it has to be at least a cordial and a formal working relationship. Then why do I say that? That Malaysia's interest is tied to Penang's future growth and prosperity. I think some of you will know, but maybe perhaps many do not, that 25% of Malaysia's exports and imports, both in terms of trade, volume and value, originates from Penang. As mentioned by Dr. Lee Khatri just now, 67% of medical tourism receipts in Malaysia comes from Penang. That means you're looking at 2/3 originate from Penang. So if Penang fails, Malaysia also fails. And bear in mind that all tax receipts are paid to the federal government. We don't take a single cent. So if Penang succeeds and prospers, wow, the federal government earn 26% taxes they collect. We don't collect a single cent. So our interests are tied inextricably, and I would say a life sort of a death hug, a life and death hug with each other. If we leave, if Penang leave, Malaysia leave. If Penang dies, Malaysia also dies together. So for Penang to fail, Malaysia fails. For Penang to live and succeed, Malaysia also live and succeed. So it is not in our interest to make sure that each other fails. So we know that if Penang does well, Malaysia also do well. That means if PR does well, BN also do well. So we always stress to the federal government that let us do well together instead of let us die together. And I think they have realized that. That's why the Minister of International Trade and Industry, Tok Pa, invited me to attend this trade mission. And we have joined the MIDA trade mission to America, because we realize that our interests are tied together. Now, if Malaysia, despite her differences with America, especially on Israel, can still work together with America, even against Iran, why is it that you can't work with Penang state government and we are all Malaysians? Have you not been talking about one Malaysia, or is that all rhetoric? So I think this, in that sense, the federal government has responded, and I'm not only talking about words, but also in terms of deeds. You look at the Penang Second Bridge, work only started after the new government took over. It is a 4.3 billion ringgit project. It has commenced construction, and we hope it will be completed by 2013. Secondly, the expansion of the Mengkuang Dam, 1.1 billion, also approved. Hopefully work will begin in January. Thirdly, the funicular train, 63 million ringgit, work has already started. And of course, the expansion of the international airport. You know, our Penang airport is out of date by at least 10 years. There's a 250 million expansion project involving both the passenger terminal as well as the cargo terminal. So when you come in, probably 2 years from now, for those who are not planning an early return, you will see a different airport. So these are the projects that shows that both the federal and the state government realizes that we have to work together to ensure each other's survival. Finally, the question by Mr. Liu, who has been here since '76.
No, 2006.
2000, alright. Oh, yeah.
It looks good.
Shock, you know. When we hear since 2006 from Penang, you have asked how are we prepared to form an efficient government should we win in Putrajaya
When?
at the next election.
When you win.
When we win. Thank you for the correction. No, I think I can talk to you about many policies, but I think the first thing that we want to do is to make sure that the best and brightest of Malaysians overseas like yourself come home and help us build this new government and new nation. And that is, I think, the basic premise and principle for the present government in Penang as well as a future government in Putrajaya. That is, we will depend on the people. We will depend on the people to establish good government. Now, when you talk about good government, it essentially means this: a government can only be as good as its people, isn't it? Then only you can have good government. Now, in order to do that, you must have faith in the people. If you have faith in the people, you trust in the people, you ask the people to help you deliver, I believe we can have good government. It is only that when you do not trust the people, then you have bad government. When you have bad government, don't blame the people. Because if the people are good, the government cannot be bad. If the government is bad, then the people should throw out this government as they have done in the last elections. So that is why, as I said, we will return in that sense to the people. We will have faith in the people to help us form good government. And that's why we hope that you, all of you here, can help us and return home. Because if you can do well in America, all you need is the opportunity to be allowed to do well at home, which has been denied to you for the last 51 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the second question about the budget and the economic will be answered by CM. I'll take on the first question on the by Mr. Liu. The preparation for the next ruling government, if you were to win the election. Of course we will win. We are determined to win and we want to win. Yes. There are a number of changes that we would like to see. First is on the judiciary system. And to wipe out the negative aspect of Malaysia boleh lah. So really want to, we talk about the judiciary, but like now when we go to the legal system in the country is just
Correct.
yeah. Correct. I think we have to correct that. So we are determined on that because we believe that is the fundamental thing. So if there is no belief in the system, then it's going to be bad for the country. And of course, accompanying with that is the police and the MNCC. So really we have to do that because people have no faith in it. When people have no faith in it, and people like you also don't want to go back. And of course with the ISA, I'm talking about the political aspect of it, the political thing. ISA, we visited Alcatraz. I think the ISA is worse than that.
Yeah.
we know, because I think the CM was one of that. I was detained under that law before. I know it was bad. It was bad. The bed were worse than Alcatraz.
No bed, I have a bed.
Only cement complete. So we have to abolish that ISCT. And then of course the election system. The election system in the country has to be modified, has to be reformed to allow for a free election system in the country. Right. So that's on that particular score. And of course the media too. That we always want the lopsided. The mainstream media has never reported what we have done. What they have reported is what wrong things we have done. So only that has to be. And luckily, for example, here you are in the States, you get it through YouTube, through internet, and all those things. But this media is a very important. People in the rural areas, this is the last of the constituency, they don't have this access. What they listen to only TV3, TV1, radio machine, and everything good about BNN. No, nothing about us. So that's we have to correct that. And of course the economics and nation building. This has been explained by the CM earlier on, but accompanying this, I think what we would like to focus is the delivery system, the effective delivery system. Give back to the people, empower the people. So here that you were saying like the public housing scheme, one that has been explained by CM earlier on this economic. And of course we have to find the investment. That's what our mission here in the country to build. We have to have economic growth. Without economic growth, we cannot redistribute. We cannot take care of our people. So the economic growth, economic development has to be accompanied with the political development or political reform that I have mentioned earlier. And this they can only be done if we get full support of the people. If we educate the people, we re-educate the people, give them some power. That's what we are talking about. Ketuhanan rakyat lah, people's power. People's power. Let people participate in the whole process. So these are the changes. Of course, this is a theoretical thing, but that does not mean that we are not working toward it. I think we have good and qualified people in running the government, and we are drawing good people to the system. And of course, as CM was saying just now, we would like to invite you home. Sometimes and participate if you may. Be part of these changes, because we know that we have to change, we have to transform something in the country for the betterment, not only for the country, for the people, for the whole people. So that's the political things here. We are prepared for it, yes. We are prepared for that kind of change. Give us the mandate, give us the chance. We will do those changes as we have done in Penang and in other Pakatan Rakyat state government. Right, thank you.
Would like to take 3 more questions.